자, 저녁밥 먹기 전에 영어책 좀 읽어야 되겠습니다. Crazy reading. 한 책에 한 문장입니다. He talks my ear off. I do my best to listen to him. Sometimes it's hard. If I had a rough day. He talks my ear off. What I learned on the way to the top. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Surrounded by idiots. The 4 types of human behavior and how to effectively communicate with each in business and in life. You need to convey your message in the right way. Designing your life. How to build a well-lived, joyful life. All you are doing here is identifying people who are currently doing things that you are interested in and whose stories you want to get. All the wisdom you seek in traditional Bibles is contained within your own inner Bible. A Bible is a saga. A Bible is a saga of awakening and the reconnection to God. Every day you are awakening to new insight and discovering your personal relationship with the Spirit. While you are trying to find God, God is trying to find the you. And rendezvous the you will. How to build discipline, resist temptation, and reach your long-term goals. Quite the contrary, you'd find the joy in accomplishing your goals despite others. Like they say, the best revenge is living well. If you are not first, you are last. On one occasion, upper management laid off my manager instead because the organization perceived me as being more valuable than him. In hindsight, I do agree that I was unnecessarily difficult to manage at that time, but my production levels were so high compared with those of others that it made me almost invincible. Find a sponsor, the new way to fast-track your career. It is not that they discount the need to be a producer. Two-thirds acknowledge the enormous importance of credential and track record. Creativity, flow, and the psychology of discovery and invention. Well, also, I reject an awful lot. Teaching by principles, an interactive approach to language pedagogy. Chapter 14, Teaching Listening Comprehension. Is it any wonder, then, that in recent years the language teaching profession has placed a concerted emphasis on listening comprehension? Men are like waffles, women are like the spaghetti, understanding and delighting in your differences. One study of boys and girls note at a physiological level, girls and boys were equally affected by the sight of the child smiling or crying. Open the gate to the Ivy League, a plan B for getting into the top college, a metropolitan education, New York University. Recently, the Fisk Guide to College called the school the hottest place in higher education, and for 3 years in a row, from 2004 to 2007, Princeton Review designated NYU as America's #1 dream school among high school seniors. Rejection proof. How I beat the fear and became invincible through 100 days of rejection. Character building. By seeking rejection in top environments, one can build up the mental toughness to take on greater goals. Think your way to wealth. Think and grow rich. I have seen this very thing happen so often that I could not be mistaken about it. High performance habit. How extraordinary people become that way. Performance prompts. The way I would like to influence them is watching and listening to my parents. I learned how to think of other people. Mom and Dad didn't teach me that other people were mean or bad. Instead, they trusted in the goodness of others in general and showed me that with patience, grace, and humor, people could open up, change, and be friendly. Reader, come home. The reading brain in a digital world. This is our generation's hinge moment, the time when we decided to take the true measure of our lives. If we act wisely at this cultural, cognitive crossroad, I believe, not unlike that Charles Darwin hoped for our species' future, that we will forge ever more elaborated reading brains, circuit capable of endless forms most beautiful. The art of aging. We must treasure one or more others, and in the treasuring be treasured. Learn like a pro, science-based tools to become better at anything. Important ideas replaced using as few words as possible. An excellent strategy for active reading. Annotation. Writing down short comments and questions as you read. Annotating is an excellent strategy for active reading that also make it easier to review and refer back to the text. The 5 essential people skills: how to assert yourself, listen to others, and resolve conflict. If the goal of the meeting is to arrive at a decision of some kind, the group might review the option, establish the criteria to be applied, agree on how the design should be made, and then proceed to make it. Bear in mind that the success of a meeting often depends on the competence level of the participants. How successful people lead, taking your influence to the next level. When they master level 3, they become more productive. People development empowers others to fulfill their leadership responsibilities. People development is more than just teaching, it's transforming. The real life of the MBA. Does that sound optional? Irresistible. The rise of addictive technology and the billions of keeping us afoot. T illustrated the limitation of cell phone communication by recounting an observation that comedian L shared with C in 2013. Everyone communicate, few connect. What the most effective people do differently. I watched as he picked the papers up one at a time, pretended to read them, and then placed them back in line on the floor. Now discover your strengths, how to develop your talents and those of the people you manage. This are the little ritual. It is his support system for managing around a potentially devastating weakness. In the spotlight, overcome your fear of public speaking and the performing. Action steps. Imagine you are a world-renowned expert in creating a state of fear, terror, dread, self-doubt, and mistrust in yourself and others when it comes to public speaking or performing. The end of big. Anonymous seemed to announce they were backing down, but the entire episode is shrouded in confusion. 13 things mentally strong parents don't do. With this mindset, it's no wonder some parents prevent kids from making mistakes. They want to spare them from suffering a serious blow to their self-esteem. Rejected. The other thing is, about 10% of the time, the person I was queuing didn't find my being a dick either fun or amusing. Dick. Make today count. The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. But if you spread it around, you can encourage things to grow. Keep calm for ladies. You are your own judge. The verdict is up to you. Life span. Why we age and why we don't have to. Then they'll likely want to hear about what other worlds we've visited. Sleep smarter. 21 essential strategies to sleep your way to a better body, better health, and bigger success. They typically have only a few decades of testing versus the thousands upon thousands of years that humans have been on the planet. Hero. You live in a world of duality, and so there are going to be both the ups and the downs. You will have experienced those days when for whatever reason you feel really down, and every simple thing feels like an effort, as though you are wading through mud with every step. On those days, you probably didn't feel like you had very much or any determination. You will also have experienced those days when you feel incredibly happy and energized, when you feel on top of the world and like that you can achieve anything. One matters now. Or a leader will demand growth and then later discover that this came at the expense of near-term earnings. Life for the strategies for teens. When he finally did come home late at Saturday afternoon, only to get a change of clothes, I might add, guess what happened? Well, big surprise. His dad took his keys away from him. Peaks and valleys, making good and bad times work for you at work and in life. The journey back up the mountain was difficult, and the young man was exhausted by the time he reached the peak. Still, he arrived in time to enjoy a beautiful sunset. The craving mind. A craving is just a craving unless we get sucked into it. Managing stress. Unlike our other drive, the human sexual drive, carries the heavy burden of incredible responsibility. Future trends, a guide to decision making and leadership in business. These comprise community, family, the power of the individual. No rules are the rules. Now, our partner Samsung had come out with the only 4K television so far on the market. The inevitable. Understanding the 12 technological forces that will shape our future. When I get home, I really look forward to watching the string of amusing 3D videos and fun games that Albert lined up for me. The truth about the leadership, the no-fad, heart of the matter facts you need to know. When you ask people what it means for a leader to be honest, their immediate response is that she tells you the truth or that he doesn't lie. Change we can believe in. As President Barack Obama will create a new employment eligibility verification system and make it mandatory and efficient for employers to verify that their employees are legally eligible to work in the United States. The idea hunter, how to find the best ideas and make them happen. Can I imagine a set of circumstances in which I would not want to be associated with this idea? The mobile wave. We live in a global economy, and with every year, the knowledge of Chinese and other languages become more valuable. Currency wars, the making of the next global crisis. Daniel and his colleague Amos demonstrated in a series of simple but brilliantly constructed experiments that individuals were full of irrational biases. Winners always quit. 7 pretty good habits you can swap for really great results. The information is processed in parallel rather than sequentially. Instead of going through a logical sequence of thought one by one, you see the situation more as a whole, with different fragments emerging simultaneously. The brain's way of healing. Xu, another former athlete, has been using the device daily for almost 2 years. The dollarization discipline, how smart companies create customer value and profit from it. In addition, a dollarization focus can have indirect benefits on a service company's sales productivity. Above the line, living and leading with heart. Then your neocortex can step in and offer effective ATL strategies instead of the default let's protect BTL coping strategies. The new private practice, beyond insight to vision. Dr. G touched my hand tenderly and quietly pronounced, "You have retinitis pigmentosa, and you will soon lose all your sight." Every woman's guide to foot pain relief, the new science of healthy feet. Which statement best fits you? Statement 1. I regularly go barefoot. Keep it simple. Unclutter your mind to uncomplicate your life. No one volunteered, so I picked one woman and kept asking her to try until, with a real sense of frustration, she forcibly said, "Look, we help people when they are hurt, okay? Create your own future." What if there are additional virtues and qualities that you would like to incorporate into your personality? Speak. Use your voice to step up your speaking game and your human game. Love your story. Your audience is waiting. My husband attended his first Bat Mitzvah service when he was 40 years old and wasn't a bar mitzvah until he was 44. The silo effect. The peril of expertise and the promise of breaking down barriers. The Blue Mountain traders set to work trying to understand why this pattern had occurred. College essays that made the difference. Don't get me wrong though, I don't just sit around compromising my morals merely to squeeze a smile out of someone. Choose your story, change your life, silence your inner critic, and rewrite your life from the inside out. If I got sick the first day of spring break in college, after pulling an all-nighter for a test, well, you need a lot of sleep, my mother would say. Talking with patience, keys to a good communication. It is therefore essential to assess the mother also and ask about her background, upbringing, and the marriage. Lions don't need to roar. By the end of it, he seemed like a new man. Master your time, master your life. The breakthrough system to get more results faster in every area of your life. They have no comfort zone. They have no comfort zone to break out of. The human network. How your social position determines your power, belief, and behaviors. I cut a garment for 40 cents rather than what it was worth, 80 cents. What does it mean to be well educated? And more essays on standards, grading, and other follies. As the D and others have observed, the praise high standards by definition means standards that everyone won't be able to meet. The age of addiction, how bad habits became big business. The rule is that social progress follows the adoption of innovation that survived the test of the marketplace. 301 smart answers to top interview question. But I used the next couple of months to get my resume together and start making the rounds with the recruiters. Multiple streams of income, how to generate a lifetime of unlimited wealth. Wit and wisdom, $1 billion isn't what it used to be. Leadership 101. The cartoonist's disappointment inspired him with a grand vision. How can I effectively cast vision? You can seize only what you can see.